When it comes to commercial real estate, experience matters. Venture Title and Escrow is Idaho's trusted partner for complex commercial deals, backed by decades of expertise and precision you can count on. From mixed-use developments to investment properties, we close with confidence. Don't leave your next transaction to chance. Visit ventureidaho.com and see why more professionals trust Venture for their commercial title needs. Venture Title. Simple, predictable, and personal.
Welcome to a very special episode of Making the... Wait, no, we're not making the merge. This has nothing to do with Survivor. It's Big Bro Club, baby.
The Big Bro Club. We're gonna keep on going to the Big Bro Club.
Chase and PD watch Big Brother for the very first time.
Guys, that's right. We're covering Big Brother this season.
And I'm so excited that actually I'm going to put on my Big Bro Club attire.
Whoa. What? For those that are listening, which is everyone because we don't record video, he's putting on a pink robe because apparently robes are a big deal in Big Brother.
Because showering is a big deal in Big Brother. Yeah. And honestly, I mean, it was culture shock for me. I had no idea what to expect going into this, and did you? Like, the only thing I've seen of Big Brother ever was I watched the whole JoJo Siwa run through clips online.
So when I was a kid, like probably 8 or 9, me and my family watched Big Brother for like 2 seasons. The funny part is those 2 seasons are referenced in this season.
Oh wow! So you have a leg up.
So I do have a bit of a leg up. Other than that, I mean, I was 8 or 9 years old, so I'm 25 now. So it's been a really long time.
Yeah, I will say I love the host. I've only seen 2 episodes of this show, and I'm already a Julie Chan stan.
And because we're big Survivor fans, her husband is one of the main producers of Survivor.
Oh wow! It's all connected in the CBS family.
If you're a Making the Merge listener, we're talking about Cook Islands right now in our Survivor Time Machine pod. The producer, who is married to the host of Big Brother, Julie, actually asked her, "Hey, do you think this is a good idea to do the race wars thing?" And she said, "Yeah."
Really? Yeah. Did you make that up or?
No, that's very true.
That's awesome, dude. She should have been on it.
Yeah, dude. At that point, she was already hosting Big Brother, though. So.
Oh wow! So Big Brother's been going on almost as long as Survivor.
I believe the same amount of years because Survivor does 2 seasons a year.
Yeah, because Jeff is a psycho.
Yeah, so they've had 50 seasons, but it's been 25 years, and this is Big Brother's 25th season in 25 years, I believe.
Okay, that's reasonable. 1 season a year.
Yeah, but they go hard in the paint, dude.
They do. 30, 40 episodes?
Something like that. They do 3 episodes a week, and they're like, the Wednesday episodes are 90 minutes, and then the Thursday and Sunday episodes are an hour. And they do a 24/7 live stream.
And we need to talk about the live stream thing a little bit because last night I go to type in Big Brother. I didn't even finish the word Big Brother. I typed in the letter B and up pops 4 live streams. And I'm like, you know what? I'm supposed to watch the first 2 episodes. There are 4 episodes out. I want to see what's going on at 1 a.m. at this house. So I click on it, and it's just cutting back and forth between a dog alone in a room and then another room with 2 cats. And I watched that for like 20 minutes. The first 10 minutes, out of curiosity, I was like, okay, when does this end? When do people come in? I then read the little thing at the bottom, which implied that's not going to happen. And then I go to leave the live stream, and I could not. My whole Paramount Plus app froze, would not let me do anything. So I was cooking also. Like, and why am I cooking at 1 a.m.? I don't know. But
what were you cooking?
I was cooking shrimp and mahi.
Wild 1 a.m. meal.
I hadn't eaten, so I was like, I got to get the calories in now. I need my fish. That's a lot of meat, as Parvati would say.
That's a lot of meat.
But yeah, so I'm stuck on this live stream, and then it takes me, rebooting the whole Paramount Plus app to finally watch the show Big Brother. But now that I have, look, I'm glad we're doing this, Chase.
Dude, I'm so pumped. We discussed it like pretty quickly. We were like, Big Brother just started. They're 2 episodes in at this point. Should we just dive in? It would only be me and you. We don't have the full Making the Merge team for Big Brother, but we're going to do a draft. We're gonna treat it as important as we treat Survivor, and hopefully we're along for the ride. This episode is covering week 1 of Big Brother. We are a little bit behind, but we're gonna catch up by.
Wait, was the first week just 2 episodes, or was it 3?
Yeah. The first week is just 2 episodes, yeah. So the first week was just Thursday and Sunday, I'm pretty sure. And then week 2, which we will be covering in a different episode very shortly, we'll be covering Wednesday, Thursday, and Sunday.
All right. And this is...
And we'll also be doing a draft.
Yeah, the draft, it's going to be me and Chase like we were back in season 44. Just the two of us drafting against each other.
Two of us. And I have a fun idea for the Big Brother show to make it feel special in its own right. The winner of the draft, we will get a HOH bathrobe.
Oh, and you know how much I love bathrobes. I'm wearing one right now. So
yes, and I currently still have the embroidery machine, so I will embroider the number of the season and the name on the bathrobe.
Oh, dude, that's beautiful.
Yeah.
And hey, an overall takeaway about Big Brother, real quick, before we get into like what happened specifically in the episodes. I say the people cast on Big Brother feel a lot more like normal people than the ones we get on Survivor. On Survivor, I mean, everyone's like a GTA Strangers and Freaks mission person. These feel like real people.
Dude, I was also thinking that. What I wrote down about meeting the contestants is I always thought Big Brother contestants were like very frat or sorority coded. But these guys are just like weird and like just normal people.
They remind me like of my coworkers. But Survivor, it feels like they find these aliens and like super athletes and freaks but that's why I love Survivor. But it's nice to see it casting done a little bit differently.
Yeah, it's super cool. I imagine there's going to be a lot of comparison from us for Survivor to Big Brother. But, you know, at the end of the day, we're a comedy show. You're not going to get any Big Brother strats from us.
I mean, maybe by the end of the season, we'll
become pros.
We'll feel like we're experts. And I don't want to spend too much time talking about Survivor because this is Big Bro Club. This is not about Survivor.
Right.
But I feel like I have such a good grasp on the game of Survivor that, you know, having total culture shock watching these first 2 episodes, it's fun. I'm excited to learn.
Yeah, dude. So I guess let's just jump into episode 1. Right off the bat, they make a big deal about 112 cameras and 113 microphones. What's the extra mic for? Why not make it an even number?
Yeah, you know what? I didn't think about that. All I thought was that the game starts and it's like, welcome to North Korea. We will hear and see everything you do. And we have live feeds so America can hear and see everything you do.
24/7. I would get in so much trouble.
Yeah, and then like another thing about the start was Julie Chan reveals it's a mystery themed season, and I'm like, wow, I get to do a Big Brother pod with the YouTube detective, and it's a mystery season. It's just all the stars have aligned.
Perfect. Yeah, I really liked the mystery theme. They introduced a few elements this season of Big Brother that, as far as I understand, just from the context clues, they've never done before.
But you know what was cool is the live audience too. Do they always do that?
I think so. I don't know, but I think they do.
Take notes, Jeff.
Yeah, Jeff. Come on, Jeff. Why has Big Brother got a bigger budget than you, dog? Probably because it's cheaper to make. They're not in Fiji. They're on a soundstage in Los Angeles, probably. Later on in episode 1, they'll talk about like there's a big rule change when it comes to who they put up for elimination, but also they do this whole thing about the mastermind who's like messing up the game, and they introduce an Among Us, an imposter.
Yeah, that was sick. Like the little twists like that I was really enjoying, but the mastermind guy, in my notes I have him as Red Demon for like the whole first episode, and then eventually I caught on to, you know, he's the mastermind.
Yeah, it was so weird because, again, I haven't watched Big Brother since I was a kid. So when a red devil shows up on the screen, it's just like,
welcome to Big Brother. This season I have done a little bit of traps for you. Some booby traps even.
Hey guys, that's the kind of budget we're bringing to Big Bro Club. Chase has special effects on his voice now. So when they did like... Julie came out, set some stuff up. They did intros for everybody. Who stuck out to you?
Yes. Immediately the bull rider dude.
Oh yeah, Riley.
I believe his name is Riley. Yeah, He immediately. I was like, oh, this dude's awesome.
Yeah, the cowboy hat.
I knew he was going to be awesome because when he was greeting everyone, when they were walking to the house, he takes his cowboy hat off to greet everyone, and he nicely shakes the hands of all the players. And then the black dude walks in, and he just does the Key and Peele Obama skit where he daps him up. It was awesome.
It was awesome. For me, I think Keanu stuck out.
Oh yeah,
clearly.
Yeah.
It's because he's a huge jacked guy named after Keanu Reeves, which is hilarious. That he's like he looks like WWE should sign him, but he's a giant nerd.
Yeah, well, that was really funny. So he keeps talking about how he's a dungeon master, a part-time. He doesn't do it full-time.
No.
But he says he's a dungeon master, and I can't remember which. I think it might have been Ashley.
No, I remember because I wrote this down too. It was Mickey.
Mickey goes, oh, like BDSM, like a sex dungeon
That's
master.
what I thought too.
And then when he clarifies that it's Dungeons and Dragons, she laughs at him for being a fucking nerd.
Yeah.
Like she thought he was awesome for being a sex dungeon master part-time.
She's like, oh, I could work with this guy. Oh, wait, no, he's a dork. Never mind. But Morgan, that reminds me of Morgan, the gamer girl, when she said, like, I'm not going to let these people know that I'm a gamer. And I'm like, why wouldn't you?
Dude, when I wrote this down in my notes, I said, why does the girl think being a gamer makes her such a big threat?
It doesn't. It's like, cool, you play Call of Duty on your live streams? That's good for you. That does not translate to anything in the real world.
Yeah. Another person that stood out to me was the baseball player that keeps talking about the Savannah Bananas.
What was his name? Zach?
Zach, yeah.
I'm like impressing myself with me getting the names so far because I don't know. I figured that I was going to be struggling, but maybe it's because we're talking about the most memorable people to start. But the other person who stuck out to me was Ashley, and it was just because this is pre-Showergate. I didn't know about Showergate yet, but when she said, I'm going to win because I win at everything in my life, I was like, yeah, that's the attitude. That's the kind of thing that somebody says, and I draft them just because of that.
Oh, see, I thought the opposite. I was like, I cannot wait to watch her make a fool of herself after being so confident. And I was right.
After the intros, the thing that made me go, I'm way out of my depth here, is when Adrian said, I won't tell them I make my own slop and slept on the floor to train for the have-not room. And I was like, what the does any of that mean?
Yeah, so I did remember a little bit about this. The have-not room. So every week, there are people that are have-nots, which means that they get a super uncomfortable sleeping situation, and they don't get food. They get slop. Big Brother slop.
I can't wait to see what that looks like.
Yeah, we do get to see the room, the have-not room, which is wild, but we'll get to that.
Do you remember what Zach said? One of his first confessional. Do we call them confessionals?
Yeah, I think they're confessionals, yeah.
He was like, my boss told me not to be a simp.
Yeah.
But then he immediately was a simp.
I loved when we met Amy. Is that the mom?
Yes.
When we meet Amy and she's talking with her husband and kids, I thought it was so funny how her husband was like, you know, hey, we're gonna be watching 24/7. It was almost like it was a threat. Like, hey, yeah. I'm gonna be watching you at all times.
Hey, you better not do a JoJo Siwa because I'm gonna be watching.
Hey, you better not go to a Coldplay concert there. Amy is another one that stuck out to me because she just kept saying how much she loves the dining room set.
Yeah, and I
just over and over.
I enjoyed her energy because it seemed kind of frantic.
Yeah, she was just
like, I love this dining room set. I love this dining room set. I love this dining room set.
Man, you've got to bring those voice effects over to Time Machine and Making the Merge as well.
Yeah.
In the second batch of intros, some people stuck out to me there too. Vince, Vince becomes a huge part of the first two episodes, but his story of I used to deliver pizza to Big Brother, it doesn't get better than that.
Yeah, you don't get that in Survivor. No one delivers pizza to Fiji.
No. They have employees who bring stale pizza to the players.
One of those motherfuckers rode off on a hoverboard. I can't remember which one.
Oh, I must have forgotten about that.
Oh, and then there's Ava, the Aura portrait.
Oh,
painter.
yes. I'm a big fan of Ava.
I'm a huge fan of Ava.
I'd love to have my Aura painted.
Dude, and the way that she brings, it's like she's an NPC character where she just brings up her special skill in every conversation.
Yeah. She's always talking about auras. And then the last person from the intros that I'll give a shout out to was Jimmy, who won me over immediately because he gave a shout out to Frankie Grande. And if you pay respect to the Grande family, you know I'm going to be on your side.
Gotta pay your respects to the Grande family.
That's right.
That's amazing. Okay, so yeah, we get to, and I'm sure we'll talk about some of the they're called house guests.
House guests, yes. To not
The
castaways,
housemates?
get castaway out of your mind.
Yeah, we'll talk about some of the house guests in depth as we talk about the episodes. But yeah, the episode really kicks off after 30 minutes of getting to know all of the players. The lights go out. The head of household box is gone. I bet you were confused as to what that even meant.
I did not know. And then she says, "Expect the unexpected," and the lights go out. I'm like, this is great. I don't know what's going to happen. But then the box disappears, and not only does the relic disappears. Not only does the relic disappear, Julie has been kidnapped, dude.
No.
I mean, this is my.
I've taken Julie, and you will never find her.
Hey, give her back, asshole. But yeah, so Julie's
I
gone.
heard that she said the race war season of Survivor was okay, so I kidnapped her.
And she was right. But not only is Julie gone, she left her shoe behind.
No. At this point, were you like, we should not have done this?
No, I was fully into it. I was like,
I was too.
I love the hokiness.
I do too. They have a lot of like Mr. Beast CGI effects too. Like the mastermind blows up his lair later, and we get to see a CG shot of like a mountain blowing up.
And the shoe that Julie left behind was a CGI shoe. But luckily for us, Julie was able to get access to a phone, and screw CBS for Colbert. Also, screw CBS for letting their security be so lax that Julie got kidnapped in the first episode. That's total bullshit. But she gave the house guests specific instructions on how to free her. They have to divide up into 2 search parties, while 8 search for Julie and 8 search for the relic.
Hilarious moment from this is when Ava goes, I cannot get a read on the mastermind's aura.
I could. I'm not an aura reader, and I got a pretty good. It's evil.
I actually think we would be pretty well connected in the oral world.
It sounded like you said.
Me and Julie are meant to be together aura-wise.
It's when you say aura in that filter, it sounds like you're saying oral. So no, I don't think the mastermind and what's her name? I keep calling her Aura Girl. I don't remember her name, but I don't think they're going to be connected like that. I think she has a boyfriend, Ava
the Aura Girl.
Ava Aura Painter.
Oh man.
So the challenge. We start with the Julie challenge. You want to do a little challenge time with Chase for us?
Yeah. Let's see what we got here. Can you hear that?
Yep.
It's challenge time with Chase, baby. Or maybe let's see what else we got. It's challenge time with Chase.
Oh man,
there we go. The first challenge, they have to cross a river of lava and check behind some doors for Julie. And it's like a little puzzle bridge. They have to build the bridge out of puzzle pieces. We get another hilarious confessional from Ava, who says, can't spell lava without Ava.
I love her already.
Is it bad that whenever I see like Ava or some of the other house guests, I'm like, dude, am I getting old? But they seem young. They look really young.
Yeah, I think they're just like a couple years younger than us.
The funniest thing about, and maybe this is a Big Brother thing, this isn't that uncommon, but I thought it was hilarious. Like 8 people, so there's 8 people playing in the first challenge. The other 8 house guests are playing in the different challenge. But like 4 out of the 8 are like, I'm going to throw this first challenge.
Yeah. It was hilarious, but ended up kind of being the right move.
Yeah.
At least, not in this challenge.
Yeah, I don't understand throwing a challenge right off the bat, but I guess that's how Big Brother works. But, I mean, I understand it, like how you mentioned later on with the HOH challenge, because you have to put yourself out there and pick 3 people to go home, like to be at risk of going home, which means that you're creating enemies.
Yeah, putting yourself in the worst position in the very start of the game.
Yeah.
Although, I mean, we'll get to it later, but it seemed like Vinny Boy was navigating it pretty well, I think.
Yeah,
we'll see how that plays out. But in this challenge, Zach had a really smart strategy. At least I think I wrote the names down correctly. Zach.
Yeah, the baseball player.
Yes, Washington Nationals Savannah Banana Zach. He had a really smart strategy, which was watching Adrian go to each door, and he's like, okay, there's 2 doors Adrian hasn't gone to. I'm just going to full send and hope Julie's behind here. And she was. Julie was there.
And
he freed
won,
Julie.
Dude.
Yep.
That was crazy. I was like, that's a great strategy, but also I would have been pissed if I was Adrian, because he was so much in the lead that he did the entire bottom row of doors before anyone even showed up.
And if he had gone from right to left instead of left to right, he would have found her.
Yeah,
So-
dude, that was crazy strategy. So Adria gets kind of screwed over. The baseball player Zach wins the first challenge, which we'll talk about what he wins in a second, because we immediately jump over to challenge number 2.
Oh wait, can I shout out Julie one more time?
Of course.
So he finds the real Julie, and not one of the 7 Julie clones. And after he finds Julie, she comes out, and she only has 1 shoe on, because Julie commits to the bit, baby.
Yes,
her
she
shoe.
does.
She left her shoe behind, so continuity.
I would have really loved to see what was behind one of the other doors, like if they would have chosen wrong.
I think it was just nothing. You probably would have just gotten like a buzzer or something.
Oh. I thought
Or-
maybe they would just have someone that kind of looks like Julie.
That would have been hilarious, because they did say it was like 7 fake recordings. I was hoping it would be like a cardboard cutout of her, if that
that'd
did
be
happen.
Fun too.
But
That'd be fun too.
yeah, I'm glad Julie's free.
Yeah, dude, me too. And then we don't really see her all of episode 2, so I guess we only get Julie once a week.
Hey, she got kidnapped. She deserves a little vacation.
Yeah, she probably had to get some sort of workers' comp or something like that. Challenge number 2, and I'll just say I'll explain the rules the same way that the mastermind does.
Okay.
There are tons of fake HOH relics, and you have to find the correct one.
And that's pretty much
Yep.
what he says.
That's the gist. and dude, it looked tough.
Dude,
right?
Yeah, so basically what it is they have the HOH relic or whatever, and they've just made 50 copies, but with different jewel placements and the key different. And you have to figure out which one's the correct one. And basically, like, you have to take one. If you think this is it, if you think you got the right one, you take it up the stairs, you stand on a platform, and if it's the correct one, you win. If it's wrong, they drop you to your death.
Yeah, which for Keanu, I don't know if that was a manipulated scream, but it sounded like they dropped him to his death. He was the first one. He was so confident so quickly, and then he runs up there and falls. And I'm assuming it's just like a big crash pad down there,
Yeah.
but it looks so funny.
Yeah, especially when we got a back-to-back cuts of like 4 people running up there and then just falling to their deaths and getting it wrong. And then Jimmy wins the challenge. One thing I thought was hilarious was, instead of like a bell or something when he got it correct, it was the air horn noise.
Yeah.
I thought that was hilarious.
It was really funny. And, dude, it warmed my heart to see Jimmy come away with the victory, because shout out to Frankie Grande. And
You're going to draft Jimmy number 1, aren't you?
I might, all because of the Grande connection that we have. But
also, Jimmy's playing. He's playing hard, dude.
he was playing hard. And then we had one person throw this challenge, right?
Yeah, I think there was a couple people that kind of threw the challenge.
But I remember, it was the gamer girl, because
The gamer girl doesn't want to
Morgan,
be a big threat. Yeah,
but
Morgan.
she still went up there to present one of the relics. So I guess she went up there, picked the wrong one on purpose, and decided I want to take a fall to make it look like I'm trying.
Yeah, I think that, and honestly, good move.
Yeah.
I think. It's better than just standing around and being like, I don't know.
Mm-hmm. So shout out to Jimmy and Frankie Grande and all that. And then we find out the prizes after that.
Jimmy and Zach are the two winners. They get Zach gets a $10,000 reward. We later find out in episode 2 that $10,000 reward can be cashed in for like a hidden immunity idol type situation. He can be safe if he cashes in that 10 grand.
And then we get to Jimmy. Wait, yeah. So I was about to say Vince. Why did I think it was? Oh, because Vince becomes the
HOH.
Yeah. But no, Jimmy, he gets to choose who's going to be. The
HOH competition.
Okay, so that's what it was.
Yeah, Jimmy gets to pick the 4 players. Only 4 out of the 16 house guests will play in the HOH competition, which is like from what I know now, if you win the HOH competition, you become the head of household, and it's your decision the 3 players that go up on the block, the chopping block.
Yeah, which is crazy power. I mean, that also it throws a whole different element of strategy. Is like, you obviously want to be in that position at some point, but like, when do you want to be in that position?
Another thing that Big Brother does, if I remember correctly, is if you are the HOH, you don't get to play in the next HOH competition. There's no being back-to-back HOH.
So there are no Aussies.
Yeah, there's no one that can just like run through the whole season, be in the HOH the whole time, and staying immune the whole time. What's really funny is, so Jimmy gets to pick the 4 players that will play in the competition. And so he goes around and asks everyone, and no one wants to play.
Yeah. Can you blame him?
No, because and I understand more now, having seen the first week, but it's like, if you're the first HOH, you're going to be making 3 enemies right off the bat.
Yep.
And all of week 1 was just the first day in the house.
But he does end up finding 3 people. Right?
Yes.
It was Vince, Adrian, and Ashley.
Yeah. And Jimmy chooses himself to play as well.
Yeah, so we got our 4 locked in. And then, did we go straight from there to the HOH challenge?
We get a big bombshell where we find out from Julie, the house guests don't know this yet, but Julie tells us there's a mystery house guest.
Yes.
That's going to be getting brought in. And then we go to the HOH competition. The HOH competition is called Destroy the Lair. Basically, you have to balance cores on the BB blaster. And once all 6 cores are balanced, you get to race to push down the plunger, and yours has to stay balanced for 10 seconds.
It looked like a scene from Lab Rats. That's a Disney XD reference for all of you out there who would understand that.
I like how cheesy they make their stuff look.
I like it too.
Yeah. One thing that I will point out, though, is like this was like a murder mystery themed season, and this was like very sci-fi alien, which was weird.
Yeah, and it did look difficult when Ashley was trying to put her stuff on, and everything just went flying off individually. It looked like a mess.
It looked like it was really difficult. But Adrian and Vince were doing okay, but then at like the last second, Adrian just lost everything. I like Adrian because so far in both challenges we've seen him in, he is playing hard.
Yeah, he's playing hard, but he's not winning.
Yeah,
which is probably good for him in this one.
Yeah, probably. Vince wins, which makes him the first head of household, and that's when we find out that the rules have changed. Now, we don't know this because we've never seen really any of the other seasons, but previously, the HOH would only nominate 2 players for eviction, but apparently last season they added a twist where you had to nominate a 3rd player, and that is just the rules now.
And it's going to be interesting after we do a draft because we're used to usually, even if it's a small chance, having a chance of being safe every week. There might be weeks for Big Brother where we're screwed. And all of our people are up for nomination or nominated for eviction, and there's nothing we can do.
Yeah. Dude, that would be crazy. But here's another thing that I don't know if you knew about. So on eviction night, the 3 players will compete to remove themselves from the chopping block, and then that means that the remaining 2 will face off for the live vote and eviction. Now, what there also is the power of veto competition, which I think happens in episode 3, so week 2. And what that means is whoever wins the power of veto can give it to someone on the chopping block and make them safe, or they can choose not to give it to anyone.
Yeah, I'm excited.
Yeah, and I mean, you and I, we get very competitive when it comes to the drafts that we do. Mm-hmm. So imagine a scenario where your player has the power of veto, and you can, and they could have saved my player, and they didn't.
Man, I'm sure there's going to be a lot of crashing out as we, learn and keep going on our Big Brother journey. But next up is everyone sitting around, and then Julie pops back up and lets us know that, the twist is on, but then the red demon shows up and then tells us about another big twist. You want to do your voice effect for that?
Someone, the imposter, has unlocked a painting in one of the hallways, and there is a new player in the game.
My mind was blown.
They introduce Rachel. Now, did you have any idea who Rachel was? She's in the game now.
I've heard of her because I think it made a splash when she popped on. I just maybe saw a clip of people talking about how much they love Rachel, but other than that, I don't know any Rachel lore personally. But she walked in like she was the queen of Big Brother, and everybody was paying respect.
Yeah, dude. So, and I love how they gave us like a little bumper of like who she is in case we didn't know, because we didn't really.
Yeah.
However, the 2 seasons that I watched when I was a kid were the Rachel seasons.
No way. So this is a big
Brother,
deal for you.
12 and 13. Yeah, I actually knew who it was because I remember her big catchphrase, and my mom hated her. My mom hated her so much because her big catchphrase was always,
"I'm back, bitches."
I was about to say, I loved it when she said, "I'm back, bitches." This Rachel woman is an icon.
Everybody keeps saying like she's on the Mount Rushmore of Big Brother players. She's played twice and she's won before. Which, from what I understand, I don't know if there's that many repeat players. And the ones that do, the fact that you have won is really impressive.
Yeah, so Rachel's talking to everybody, introducing herself, and the mastermind cuts her off. This is when we learn that one of the people in the house, not Rachel, is an imposter. Yes. And if they don't figure it out, then the person stays.
Yeah, Rachel's in the game, but she's not the 17th house guest. She's the 16th house guest because turns out the mastermind's accomplice is not actually in the season yet. But if they can figure out who the accomplice is, the accomplice will be removed, and there will only be 16 playing this season. But if they don't figure out who it is, there will be 17 players this season.
And this is the moment where I'm like, okay, I'm sold on Big Brother. Like, this twist is insane.
Dude, it was so much fun. It was super sick. We also, that's the end of episode 1 pretty much. We don't get to find out who the accomplice is yet until episode 2. One thing that did happen at the end of episode 1, though, is I believe it was Ashley. Right after the whole spiel about what the accomplice thing means, she just goes, "So do they go home if we figure it out?"
And the answer to that is yeah.
It's like, dude, that was kind of the only information that he gave you.
I forgot that episode 1 ended there because I guess in my mind they just kind of bled together as one big episode. But in episode 2, we're trying to figure out who the accomplice is immediately, and we've got 2 suspects, Riley and Zay.
Yes, Riley immediately throws Zay under the bus because Riley says that Zay's face turned beet red.
And I looked at the tape. They showed the replays. It was red.
It was
I
red.
can see where he was coming from.
Which leads us to ask the question, why was his face so red?
Yeah, I don't know. And why did Riley have to run to the bathroom like that? That made me think it was him. I guess he had to pee really bad. But
that theory they snapped. So a lot of people thought that it was Riley. because Riley, right after the challenge was over, the HOH challenge, he like full sprinted through the house by himself, being like, I gotta pee. And so they were like, that's the perfect time where he could have done all the things that the mastermind said that the accomplice did, which honestly, great reasoning.
Yeah. And I thought it could have been either of them. I didn't expect it to be neither.
Yeah. And no one else did either except for Lauren. Lauren is the only one thinking smart. She thinks that it must be a woman since Rachel has been introduced, and that throws off the 50-50 split of men and women house guests. And she ends up being correct. It is one of the women in the house.
I forgot she said that. Yeah, that is really smart.
Yeah. I think she's a sleeper pick to win the whole season. She's really smart.
Yeah, she could be. And I think Amy is a sleeper pick to win the whole thing, too. I mean, maybe not, but Amy is hilarious. But, I mean, it is like a big deal that she was able to do all that stuff and stay totally cool about it and not tell anybody.
Yeah, while being loud.
Yeah, being loud and having emotional breakdowns later on.
Yeah, she was like, because one of the things that she did as the accomplice was like start the timer in the house. And she did that while she was talking about how much she loved the dining room set. So, honestly, pretty impressive. Yeah. It's pretty wild that so far this season has just been Big Brother Among Us edition, though, right?
And then this is where we get the Dungeon Master BDSM mix-up with Mickey, and that was really my favorite moment of the two episodes.
We also get a moment. I can't remember who said it, but someone goes, "She looks great for being in her early 30s."
Whoa. Early 30s?
So funny. We find out that so everybody votes for Riley as the accomplice. They're wrong, which means that there's going to be 17 players this season, and the accomplice actually stays a secret, which I thought maybe they would expose that it was Amy to everyone, but they do not.
Yeah, I think it was cool that they didn't, because that would have immediately made for her to do all of that secretively and then it be revealed to everybody. She would have been on the block.
She would have gone home quick. Yeah, she would have gone home really quick. Another funny moment happens in this section, which is when Zach, the baseball player, is just talking, and he's just like, yeah, the Savannah Bananas reached out to me. Dude, imagine he was just like exaggerating or lying, and then now it's all over national TV.
Well, I mean, it's smart of him if he was exaggerating or lying, because now he will probably definitely get on the Savannah Bananas because he's on Big Brother.
Yeah, that's true. But imagine how embarrassing it would have been for him to just be like, yeah, the Savannah Bananas reached out to me, and then the Savannah Bananas put out a statement like, no, we did not.
Yeah, I want to see him dancing. I want to see him doing backflips on the mound or whatever it is that they do out there. They don't play real baseball.
I've been to a game.
Did you enjoy it?
It was awesome. I loved it way more than real baseball.
Okay, my dad went, and he was like, this is for children.
I mean, it is, but, that's what I wanted.
Yeah.
I don't like sports, so it was right up my alley.
But next up, Vince has a letter, and the letter says, Rachel, we regret to inform you that due to your late arrival, you have to stay in the have-not room. And I was really excited for this because I kept hearing about it in episode 1, and I was like, let's see this slop. I want to know. But there was no slop.
Baby.
No slop at all. So it was Rachel and the 3 other people in that. I guess everybody in that went to that room. But Rachel and the 3 other people, they're the ones who are safe because they're going to the have-not room.
And I don't know, and maybe they said this and I missed it. I don't know if that is a common thing. I don't think the have-nots are typically safe from nomination and eviction. I think that might just be a twist for this episode.
I don't know, but Rachel, the mastermind, I think, is the one who told them. Or was it Julie or was it the mastermind who...
Is the mastermind.
Yeah, the mastermind. He reveals that Rachel is going to go there, and then Rachel can pick someone, and then whoever Rachel picks will pick the next person, and then, then that person picks the next person.
Each one picks the next, yeah.
Yeah, so Rachel picks Will because she knows Will's a fan of her, which is a funny reason. She's like, I want my Stan.
Will is the 50-year-old women's basketball podcaster.
Amazing thing to be. Former military captain, now does a podcast about the most dominant women's basketball team in history.
I knew that you would have some insight because I was like, why USC in particular?
They are like a Nick Saban level dynasty for women's basketball.
Okay. I knew you would have some info for me.
Yeah, so it's Will and Zach and Ava, right? Or no, it's
Yes,
Lauren. He
yeah.
was going. Oh no, he was gonna pick Lauren and then switched it to Ava.
Because Ava was giving him like a puppy dog face.
Yeah.
Which she really was. At first I thought he was exaggerating in like the diary, the video diary or the confessional or whatever it's called. And he was like, she was giving me like the biggest puppy dog face I've ever seen. And then they cut to her and she really was.
Yeah, the reasonings were really funny because it's like Rachel picks Will because Will's the big fan of her, and then Will picks Zach because Zach played baseball, and then Zach is horny and he wants to pick Lauren, but then he sees Ava is so sad that he's like, I gotta go with the aura. Maybe Ava knows a thing or two about auras, and she was just really getting that sadness out there.
That's it's funny you mentioned that because we get a confessional from Ava about why Zach picked her, and she goes, maybe our auras lined up in that moment.
So I'm on to something.
Yeah, you are, dude. So yeah, they go check out the have not room, and the beds are chalk outlines.
Amazing. How do you sleep on that? I don't know.
I don't know, but it's gonna be really fun to watch, dude. I didn't realize this. This is pretty crazy. They sleep in there and they're have nots for a whole week.
But could you explain to me why it's called that?
The have nots?
Yeah. What does that mean?
Because they don't is because they don't have anything.
Okay, and they're exempt from the vote. Does that have anything
I don't think
to
that's
do with
typical.
It,
I don't think that's typical. I think usually they are also up for eviction. So I think it's I don't know. We'll have to keep watching to find out. And
Yeah,
I'm
hey,
sure our audience will let us know in the comments and everything.
I was about to say, makingthemergepod@gmail.com. Please correct us for Big Brother or inform us. If you do it for Survivor, it pisses me off because I know a lot about Survivor. But please inform me about Big Brother.
Yeah. But it is interesting. They have to stay in the have-not room for a week, which means that they kind of go without comfortable beds. They don't get food. They only get slop.
Yeah,
and
a lot of protein in
I think
slop,
it's the kind of like weaken up some of the players. I don't know. We'll just have to keep watching to find out.
We got to talk about how Ava. She said she's down for the weirdness, and she said her chalk outline reminded her of her boyfriend, and I thought that was very sweet.
That's so funny. I wonder if they have similar auras.
Maybe his aura is just a white outline around him.
Get some insight about Rachel and her showmance because she actually married the guy that she fell in love with
can we
when
pause?
she was playing Big Brother. Yeah.
Can we just talk about how showmances are like the goal for these people?
Yeah, I did know that about Big Brother. Yeah,
I had
Big
no
Brother
idea.
is all about because there's no like in Survivor, everyone's there to play the game and to win $1 million. Big Brother, people are there to socialize and to meet their spouses.
Yeah, some people were like, "I'm here for the money," but if I meet the love of my life, then nothing wrong with that.
And it's because there's not a survival element to it. They're just hanging out in a house for months.
Okay, so it's much more likely for you to find yourself in a situation like that than when you're starving.
Yeah. And Big Brother leans more into the romance side of things than like how Survivor has that element of they're starving, they're trying to survive. Big Brother's big thing is like it's a social experiment. Let's lean into the kind of the Love Island-ness of it where the people are falling in love.
Yeah, which I can't wait to cover Love Island with Chase. He's really been wanting to do that with me.
Shut up, Pete.
Oh, yeah.
You are a filthy liar. Check your aura.
My aura is pink. So we were talking about Rachel and her showmance turned husband.
Dude, it was such a cringy moment that they picked to it was like a flashback from when they were together. And I kind of remember that a little bit from being a kid, but he looks at her now husband and goes, "That's what a knight does." And then she married that man.
Yeah.
I also thought it was funny how in the flashback he looked like such a fratty backwards hat, kind of like a what's the proper word for it without being
douchebag?
Rude? Douchebag. Yeah. And then it cuts to the current family photos of them, and he just looks like the nicest husband and father.
Yeah. But it's nice that she found love on Big Brother. Next, Zach gets sent to the diamond room He gets his 10K, and he gets a little secret. He can use the 10K to buy his safety if he's ever on the block. That's a big deal.
It's like a hidden immunity idol. That's pretty cool.
Yeah, but instead of the hidden immunity idol, you put 10K in cold hard cash down for your safety.
Yeah, and I wonder if you don't need it, if you don't use the immunity aspect of it, you get to just keep 10 grand.
I would hope that would be the case, or that would be pretty disappointing.
Yeah, that'd be pretty cool, dude. This is where we learn a lot about the HOH. The HOH gets their own room. The HOH room, it has snacks and beer and like a personal bathroom, which is going to be important. And he gets the HOH robe, which apparently seems like a really big deal.
But we also got Amy and Rachel creating the Mom Alliance.
The Mom Squad.
They're like all these dumb, horny guys. They're going to forget about the prize at the end. And they're going to get distracted, and we're going to run this game. And I kind of believe them.
I do, too. I think that was a great... I think it's a good... I think this season, if everything works out the way that the Mom Squad thinks it will, it's going to be a fun little experiment of, like, maturity, where it's like, are the people that are actually there to make the money and win the game versus the people that are there for the experience of playing Big Brother.
Yeah, and now let's talk about what everybody wants to talk about. Let's talk about SHOWERGATE.
SHOWERGATE, baby! This was so funny. When I watched this, I texted PD, and I was like, you're going to love episode 2.
Oh, so that's what that was about. Yeah, and I did. I texted Chase the next day, forgetting Chase had said that to me, and I said, SHOWERGATE. I love Big Brother. Dude, Ashley. Okay, Ashley wants to take a shower, which, harmless, right? Vince, he's ready to go to sleep. Yeah, he offers, and you would think that she's gonna be polite and just take a little shower and then leave, but no. Ashley takes a almost 2-hour shower in someone else's shower late at night when he wants to go to sleep.
Yeah, and he hadn't even gotten to use the HOH shower yet. The funniest part for me was that right before she got in the shower, she was like,
I'm only gonna be like 10 minutes.
Yeah.
That was so funny.
But my mind went to, like, when they showed the elapsed time, I was like, oh, they're fucking. Because what? Why else would you leave the water running for that long?
Right.
No, it turns out she was just taking a shower.
Crazy activities, dude.
Yeah.
On week 1, dude, and everyone is clowning her over this. Like, it becomes the biggest deal in this house immediately.
When you get a gate attached to something you did, never good.
Also, Watergate would have worked just fine as a name as well.
Oh, shit, yeah. Why didn't they think of that?
But, dude, it was so funny because it gets back to Vince pretty quickly. Like, oh, yeah, Showergate. And he goes, there's a name for it? We didn't get to see who coined the term. I want to know who coined the term.
I'd love to know.
Because that's hilarious.
Yeah, the 2-hour shower. Honestly, Ashley, I wanted to draft her early on, and then this happens, and it's like, maybe if she's there, like in the late rounds, but this is tough to come back from, I think.
Yeah, 100%.
It's because she was like, I mean, I guess it's a little bit later on, but Ashley is talking to Catherine, and Ashley blames Catherine for the whole thing becoming an incident, when I'm like, Ashley, you are the one who took a 2-hour shower. This has nothing to do with Catherine. You know what it is? It's the guy who went to the Coldplay concert and then blamed Chris Martin for the whole thing.
Yeah.
That's what Ashley is, the CEO of the company.
Yeah, no, it was wild for her to, like, have beef with her over that and just be like, it was just a shower. It's like, dude, it was a 2-hour-long shower.
Yeah.
Even if it wasn't Big Brother, if you just, like, were hanging out at someone's house and took a 2-hour shower, that's unhinged behavior.
Yeah, but honestly, I mean, I'm glad Ashley did it, because this episode might not have been as nearly as funny if she didn't.
Right.
So, like, it was good for the show that she did. But Kelly, she tells Vince that she wants on the block, like, a couple scenes later. And Vince is like, what?
Yeah.
Why? And honestly, I don't know if it's genius or the dumbest move ever, but it shows that Kelly wants to take risks. She's like, put me up, then no one will suspect that I'm allied with you, which I thought that reasoning was smart.
And it's honestly a pretty good strategy, too, because she'll have 2 chances to save herself. She'll have 2 challenges to get herself off the block, which I think is pretty good odds, especially if she's up there against some weaker players, potentially.
Now, watch us call this the smartest move, or like a smart
and she goes
move.
Home.
Yeah, that's could
Well,
end up happening.
she doesn't get put on the block.
Oh, yeah, that's true. Even though she was trying to volunteer herself for it.
Which was a weird choice for me. Like, I feel like I would have done that, since you could put someone on the block that wouldn't get mad at you for putting them on the block.
And Vince even said that. And so I thought that she was a lock for it, but he decided against it. And then Zay has 0 interest in the block. But then, like, everybody who goes to Vince brings up Showergate. Like, every single person.
And honestly, I would be a problem in Big Brother, because I would not shut the fuck up about Showergate. Like, if I had the HOH's ear, I'd be like, dude, she disrespected you. She respected all of us. We got to send her home.
Dude, you would have been banging on the door, being like, Ashley, get the fuck out. You've been in here for an hour and a half.
I would have been a problem, brother.
Think about Julie Chan's water bill right now.
She already got kidnapped today, and you're going to put her through this?
Yeah. With Survivor, we attribute everything to Jeff. For me, with Big Brother, I'm going to attribute everything to Julie.
Even though I don't know if Julie's like an executive producer.
I don't know. But
I wonder if she is.
To me, she runs the whole thing and pays the water bill.
And the mastermind is like some menace to society who's trying to make her power bill go up.
Yeah. I think Ashley might have been the one who referred to it as Showergate. First of all, but
Really?
maybe that's not true. But I remember the first time I heard it in the episode was her saying it in a confessional. I thought I might be wrong about that.
No,
Okay.
because they were saying it earlier because all the guys were working out outside, and that's when one of the dudes was like, "I'm gonna go change into some shorter shorts," and I was like, "What the?"
It's just a dude. That's the thing you say when dudes are hanging around dudes. Let's get the shortest shorts on and make it like
Hey, man, I need
Larry
some
Bird.
shorts on.
But Zach, he goes to talk to Vince, and then Ashley barges in.
Yeah, which also very funny. You have to ring a doorbell to get in there. Thought that was hilarious.
And then she does it again when I believe Catherine is there, or maybe it was a different girl, but I thought it was Catherine. And then Catherine's there, and Ashley barges in for like the 10th time.
Yeah,
and then,
she keeps interrupting him in the HOH room.
yeah, so not only does she do the most inconsiderate thing ever, but then she just keeps trying to get into the room, make herself look even worse. And she's talking to Vince, and he tried to calm her down. He's like, look, no one's talking about the shower thing. It's not a big deal. It's not that crazy.
He just got a whole montage of people talking to him about Showergate.
And then him gaslighting her.
Dude, here's the thing. He seemed to not care about the shower thing.
Yeah.
It wasn't until she started annoying him and not leaving him alone that he was like, okay.
And everybody
she's
else
getting on my
is
nerves.
like, I think everybody else being in his ear saying that it's such a big deal was a problem. But Amy then talks to Vince, and Amy breaks down crying because she wants Ashley to stay, and she thinks she shouldn't go home because of a shower. And Amy's just, she's in tears. And Amy...
Vince says, when she starts crying, Vince goes, should I start crying too, or just stare at her, or should I comfort her?
That was funny. I like Vince a lot. I think Vince is going to hit a potential first-round pick.
100%.
But Amy, there was a reason. It wasn't just a little shower. It was a big shower.
It was Showergate.
Yes.
Amy.
You don't get a gate attached to a word because it was a minor incident, all right? This is bigger than Nixon.
This is bigger than Nixon.
And now it's time for Vince to make his nominations. Okay, first one on the block is Zay.
Yeah.
And second on the block is Crying Amy. And I sounded like
Crying
Trump.
Crying Amy.
Why did I fall into a Trump? And then then number 3 is Ashley. Turns out Showergate was a big deal after all.
Showergate.
So. Showergate and crying. Little crying Amy crying about Showergate. And that's how we end
totally,
this.
Amy totally wasn't going to be put on the block until she went in there and started crying.
Yeah.
I mean, she was in the clear. I don't know why she would do that.
Because then she makes it look like she has the biggest connection to Ashley ever, and then makes them a duo.
So here's what I think Vince's strategy was for choosing these three. He chose Zay because everyone would be okay with that, because everybody thinks that he might be the imposter. But also, Zay probably very likely to save himself at some point in the two challenges. Then he just has Amy and Ashley to go up against each other. One of them will go home, and then the other one will be mad at him, but he won't have two people mad at him. So I think it was a pretty good strategy. What I would have done instead is, since Kelly was like, hey, put me on the block, I would have put Kelly on the block instead of Amy.
I was about to say the same thing. Kelly volunteered herself and told Vince the strategy side of it and how it could be good for both of them, assuming she doesn't go home. Right. I don't know why he wouldn't do that. I mean, I understand him being scared of Amy in that conversation, but
yeah. But he also mentioned that he was worried about putting an ally up in case she did go home. Then he would lose an ally. Yeah. But still, I think I would have done Kelly.
I would have been like, you want to sacrifice yourself first week? Okay. And that's totally cool with you? Fine.
I'll make more friends.
Yep. So with that, I think that wraps it up, right?
Yeah, so there's only two little last things. Zay gets a confessional, and I don't know if he's on cocaine or what, but the way that his mouth was moving when he was talking, did you clock that?
I didn't.
I mean, he was talking, and his jaw was just like, while he was talking. I'll try to find it, and I'll send it to you.
Maybe he just popped an Addy.
Yeah, no, dude, but he scared me a little bit. He was a little too intense. And then, the end of episode 2, we get to see PD's best friend, Julie, who says, hey, we've got the veto competition up next. To save yourselves, the power of veto happens on Wednesday. And so, me and PD are jumping into the season a little bit behind, but we are going to have week 2 coverage recap out very soon, where we talk about the power of veto competition, the first elimination, and then we will draft.
Yep. And then, so expect 2 or 3 more Big Brother podcasts within a week. Good luck. Keep up. Yeah. Stay on top of it. 2x speed us if you have to.
Yeah, but also a big thing differentiating our show from the other Big Brother shows is we're not going to do a recap for every episode. We're going to do a weekly recap.
Yeah, so next week we'll have, or maybe in a few days, we'll have the week 2 just so we can be caught up, and then the draft, and then after that, we'll do a weekly episode.
Yeah.
Or and maybe split it up because, I mean, what is it, like 90 minutes plus 2 separate hour-long shows? So we might need to do 2 a week.
We'll figure out the formatting, guys. We're just happy that you're joining us for this journey. We've never watched Big Brother, and we're super excited to jump in this.
I'm happy because I love it already.
I do too. I'm just so glad that we're doing this. At first, I think we were a little hesitant because we were like, we don't know anything about Big Brother. But Big Brother's kind of awesome. But oh no, wait, our screen is glitching, PD.
Oh no.
Chase and PD. This is the mastermind.
Oh, God.
I hope you're ready to draft your players because I've got a secret twist.
What's the twist?
I don't know. I'm not the mastermind.
Oh,
I guess we'll have to find out in the draft episode.
All right. Until next time on the Big Bro Club.
We're going to keep on dancing at the...
Shout out to Frankie Grande on the Big Bro Club. All right.
You're about to hear some ads that help keep the lights on here in the old studio. Thanks for listening or don't listen. It's really up to you at this point. It's at the end of the show. I mean, you're listening to me. Hi. But here they come. I promise they're coming. Yep, here they are. Happy day.